Okay, I'm ready when y'all are. Other than I can't see.
I'm sorry, Coach. You look better, I'm sorry.
Okay, well, that helps.
Okay.
My wife will appreciate it.
Okay.
Coach, 8 of the last 11 games between these two teams have ended one-score game.
I know it.
What is it about this rivalry that makes for such close games?
I think there's great players. There's great fan bases on both sides. Tremendous support. I think both coaching staffs do a good job and understand how important the game is. A lot of emotion. It's just one of those games where you truly can throw out the records. And I know that it's going to be a brawl. It's going to be everything that each team has. It's the last game of the regular season. Just a lot at stake.
That's been kind of the nature of Georgia Tech season, just that one play away from being on the other side.
This season, yeah.
Yeah.
They really have. They've had 5 games. 5 of their losses have been by touchdown or less as well. They could very easily have 8 or 9 wins right now. And, so we know they're really an outstanding team. They beat Florida State. We all know that. They played Notre Dame as good as anybody. There's a few of the games that came down to the wire. Virginia Tech came down to the wire. And a few others as well. So we know they're a very good team. We know they'll be very well prepared. We know it's going to be a battle royal.
Does something like this make them almost more dangerous if they don't really have something to lose and they've been so close in a couple of those games?
I always think they're dangerous every year. Whether they're winning, whether they got a winning record, losing record, it doesn't matter. They're a dangerous football team. Over the last 7 seasons, they've rushed for more yards than anybody in the United States. And they're just hard to stop offensively. Just looking at the film last year, they stoned us in short yards, goal line situations. And you just didn't get it done offensively when we needed to. They got the pick in overtime. So they've done a lot of really good things.
How much of last week carries over to this week? You saw a team that runs a spread option, but it's not the exact same thing.
Certain things. Just being responsible for the quarterback and the dive and the pitch, having to be disciplined in your gaps are very similar, but they run the option a lot differently. Georgia Tech's under center, Georgia Southern was in the gun, Georgia Southern a little bit more traditional run game, a little bit more spread. Georgia Tech, they line up in what they like to line up in and keep coming at you.
Coach, if Justin can't go, how much different does that offense take shape? I mean, he really runs that well.
Yeah, he runs it. He runs it very well. Justin's a great player and has been a catalyst for their offenses. And, you get big plays, big runs, big pass plays. But I don't think they're going to reinvent their offense. Him being gone.
Last week was another example of you guys starting out fast and then after a while kind of fall into a lull. For you, what do you feel like is the biggest problem that you guys haven't been able to sustain?
You got to finish better. Now, we finished pretty good. We started pretty good, finished pretty good. And in between, we weren't as sharp as we should be. 2 turnovers were huge. The drive where we fumbled the ball inside the 10 when Malcolm fumbled the ball, we were moving right down the field again. The opening play of the second half was a big run. If you remember, in the second play, we get a fumble and they scoop and score for a touchdown. So the turnovers really changed the momentum of that game probably more than anything else, but we still got to, on a consistent basis, execute. And I thought we improved in that area, but when you add those turnovers at those crucial moments, field position, and the fact that the other one, turned into an instant touchdown, just made it tougher for everything.
Seems like this game has kind of been back and forth with the road teams winning recently. Got home field advantage in this series. Really doesn't matter.
No, I don't know if it does. I think that the 2 games that Georgia Tech has beaten us since I've been here have both been at Georgia. So I don't know if it means that much or not. Last question.
There's a lot of questions about the offense starting out well, then bogging down, and some of the play calls. But it's not so much. I mean, you could overrule any play call, and then your quarterback has a chance to get you into the right play. You mentioned that a lot our quarterback got us into the right play. What options does Grayson Lambert have when he goes up to the line against Tech?
Well, most of our running game has, we call them combo plays, where you might run this way or that way, depending on how they line up. There's plays where you may hand the ball off or throw the ball, what people call run-pass options, according to how the defensive plays. There's some plays where you might just pick it up and throw a little bubble screen if they're packing the box and they're playing a certain way out there. So there's decisions on just about every run. And then in the passing game, it's more of making sure we're in the right protection, making sure we're declaring the right person as the Mike linebacker to set the protection, and then progressing on your reads. If a certain play, if it's 3 deep, you'll have a certain progression. You have to make decisions on who's open and who's not. If it's 2 deep on the very same play, he may be working a different side of the field. So there's a lot of decisions that he has to make all throughout the game.
How do you, if you see something that your quarterback, you're afraid he didn't see, is there any way to get a message to him? And do you have a signal or something?
You can try to scream at him. Once the play starts, it's tough.
Yeah.